Michael Vick, our number 2 celeb, is the third successive Mike on our rundown to experience the most. Transgress in football history, Michael Vick was one of the most encouraging quarterbacks ever when the Atlanta Hawks drafted him in 2001 with a $35 million marking reward. Adding supports to his compensation from playing football, he was making $25 million every year, except he spent that cash, or offered it to his companions nearly as quick as it came in. He was so terrible with his cash that his monetary council surrendered and quit on him. Perhaps he would have been fine the length of the game's legend cash continued to come in. However, that reached an unexpected and stunning end in 2007. Michael Vick got discovered dealing with a canine battling ring. He got condemned to very nearly 2 years in prison. You can't play for the NFL from prison, and organizations didn't need a creature victimizer related with their items, so the underwriting cash went poof as well. The Atlanta Hawks sued to get back a portion of their marking reward, and a few game specialists sued for a cut of the support cash he'd been getting. Michael Vick had made more than $100 million in a short vacation. However, he needed to opt for non-payment before he was even out of jail. And when he was out of jail, he needed to spend his football rebound taking care of his obligations. Losing $100 million in light of your horrendous wrongdoings isn't cool. You realize what is cool about losing $1 billion? Number 1, Alex Jones. Alex Jones sent off his InfoWars site in 2000s, and over the course of the following 20 years, he developed into the greatest name in the field of connivance media. By 2011, his internet-based public broadcast had a greater number of audience members than Rush Limbaugh, the undisputed lord of live radio. And Glenn Beck set up his show and spread pretty much every sort of paranoid notion you can imagine, from 9/11 click to immunization refusal to saying the moon arrivals had been faked. Between revealing his audience members, there was a mystery sex prison under a Washington, D.C. pizza parlor, or the New World request was utilizing synthetics to turn individuals gay. He would promote obscure enhancements and other dodgy items he guaranteed would save you in the approaching end times, and individuals air stunned. InfoWars took in huge number of dollars a year in promotion income and made countless dollars in deals, and if all that sounds somewhat flighty, it was. It was inevitable before Alex Jones got sued, and he got sued a great deal of times. He could make the claim disappear by saying, "Sorry for the lie on his show." It didn't appear to hurt Alex Jones's believability with his audience members when he let them know that there's no prison under the pizza parlor. However, there was one untruth Alex Jones wouldn't stop, and that is the one that set him back. Alex Jones got a kick out of the chance to say that acts of mass violence were phony, and the children and the guardians included were entertainers. This sucked a considerable amount for the groups of the children, who truly had been killed, particularly when Alex Jones's fans began focusing on them with following provocation and demise dangers. Alex Jones was sued for slander 5 separate times by various guardians of casualties of the Sandy Snare shooting, and his system for those preliminaries was not to participate. He didn't impart proof to the court. He lied. After swearing to tell the truth, he knocked the appointed authorities on his show in one maligning case in Texas. He was uncooperative to such an extent that he lost the case. Naturally, he was requested to pay $49 million to the PLFs then and won. More case in Connecticut, where Jones was being sued for 15 distinct plays. The jury truly wasn't playing. They requested Alex Jones to pay $1.5 billion in penalties. That is billion. With a B, and Alex Jones was never a very rich person. In 2012, Alex Jones and InfoWars petitioned for financial protection, and the courts are putting forth a valiant effort to find all the cash. We should be straightforward, presumably concealing a portion of the celeb appeared in our different recordings, assuming you need a few additional insights concerning 50 Penny and MC Mallett's luxurious ways of life. And significantly more close to look at our video on 16 rappers who went unbelievably broke. A savant big deal. Little said, more cash, more issues. The more cash you cause, the more issues you to get, so we should take a gander at 16 rappers who attempted to tackle that difficulty by losing all their cash in the most horrendously terrible ways conceivable. Number 1669, our most memorable rapper, Tashi, began delivering his RS on SoundCloud. He didn't precisely get basic praise, yet he had heaps of fans and large chunk of change accompanied it at his pinnacle. 69 had no less than $8 million, that is an around 50% of a ticket, not too far off, and he spent it as flashily as he could on excessive vehicles, gems, and barbecues. He even dropped $2 million on a McLaren P1. This custom gems assortment incorporated a platinum My Little Horse chain, encrusted with precious stones, and finished off with his own hair, evidently worth $750,000. Yet 69 was up to speed in a wide range of pack movement. In 2018, he got captured on charges that might have seen him secured until he was 69 years of age. So he trimmed a supplication, bargained and affirmed against different individuals from his posse. His sentence was trimmed from 47 years to only 2, with 69 in prison. Then house capture for a very long time. The cash quit coming, and narcs get their sentences. Genuinely decreased, perhaps obvious. Yet it doesn't rhyme. 69 made a few foes, including individual rappers Jim Jones and Cardi B, who he exposed as gangsters. 69 says he got held up by his previous posse partners who took his gems, including that 27-carat my little horse chain. Then in 2023, he got bounced in the storage space of Ala Wellness and needed to get hurried to the clinic. Now that he's free, 69 is performing. Again, he teamed up with Nicki Minaj on a main hit. By sources, his real total assets is around $500,000 right now, which, things being what they are, it's sufficiently not to purchase any of the insane chains and barbecues he's dependent on. He's no mogul any longer, in spite of the fact that he thoroughly cases to be via virtual entertainment, dissimilar to our next person, who clearly scholarly. Example number 15, Scott Storch. Scott ascended considerably higher and fell much quicker. Hit bounce makers. Scott Storch worked with craftsmen like Jay's Kanye West, Justin Timberlake, and Beyonce. He piled up a $100 million, yet in only 3 years he'd burned through 70% of it. My month to month above for my family and worker, just family representatives, was someplace in the any neighborhood of $1 million per month. I was spending capacity, gathered extravagant vehicles until he had 30 of them. He purchased a chateau for $10.5 million. Then he dropped $20 million on a 7-room yacht. Since I surmise his home was loaded with vehicles and he wanted some place to rest, yet his most costly house, it was medications, and it got so awful he was getting high as opposed to working. In 2009, Scott Storch petitioned for financial protection. His manor went available to be purchased and got purchased by Birdman. We'll get to him later in the video. Storch was captured a couple of times and petitioned for financial protection again in 2015, starting around 2023. He's working once more, yet could do without eminence any longer. His total assets is a humble $250,000. He could presumably offer a business guidance to our next rappers, on the off chance that they take it. Number 14, the Islanders. The Little Islanders are Florian twins who go by the names Kodiak, Red, and Flyfighter. These numbskulls got popular in the distant past of 2021 with their tune, "I'm an Islander, I'm a Little Islander, and I've been attempting to make gracious. I'm a Little Islander." It was truly all the more a viral image rather than a tune. Yet, the video of them WRA in a hot tub got 9 million perspectives before they erased it. Obviously, before they did, Kevin Hart and Sneak had remarked, "I'm Island Kid," and been attempting to gracious, "I'm Island Kid, I'm puzzled." 2 numbskulls in the pool. You realize the reason why I'm not dumbfounded, why, since I'm an island later anyway, they transformed it into a legitimate music video from that point forward. They've been recording more tunes and getting into quarrels with different VIPs like YouTuber Logan Paul. That fight began on Logan Paul's web recording. Paul's company have George Jenko attempted to offer the pair some monetary guidance. He proposed assuming they sell their adornments and put away the cash, they could be set for life. The Little Islanders didn't value being conversed with like, well, young men, and they stomped out of the web recording. No, hang on, hold. No web recording. No, here. I'm moving for you. I was offering you pleasant guidance, brother. I concur with that. Hopefully they're willing to take monetary exhortation from somebody. Various sources have assessed their total assets at $700,000 up to however much $2 million. Yet, in a new meeting, their previous chief recommended the Little Islanders are totally poor and they owe him $150,000. They owe me about like $1,550,000 from what your level of the appearance cash better. Believe it is that the main cash they're acquiring, generally. Perhaps a smidgen on TikTok yet. I mean, it's essentially dried up as of now where the cash work out in a good way, assuming that they own every one of the vehicles they drive in their recordings. That is right around $1 million. Not too far off. The Islanders are still youthful. They have heaps of time to ignite cash or crash, or potentially both, very much like our next rapper on the rundown.